In a world suspended between gods and mortals, a fierce storm brews deep within a warrior's heart. Beneath the restless skies of ancient Troy, a single flame flickers, one that may either light the path to glory or engulf all in unrelenting shadow. This tale unfolds from the age of heroes, where gods weave fate and men carve legend. The Iliad, an epic etched by Homer, invites us into a world of honor, fury, and destiny entwined in blood and fire. A timeless journey through the very soul of war. Achilles, unmatched in valor and strength, strides among the Greeks, their fiercest shield and spear. Yet beneath his armor simmers a silent storm, a spark of pride that blazes fiercely, threatening to consume both himself and the fate of armies poised on the brink of ruin. King Agamemnon, powerful and proud, strikes at the heart of Achilles with words sharp as any blade. An insult, cruel and deep, fractures the bond between king and warrior, setting a shadow over the Greek camp, seeding discord where unity once stood tall. Fury swells within Achilles, and he retreats from battle's roar, his absence a silent thunder heard through the ranks. Without its fiercest champion, the Greek lines falter, wavering under the relentless assault of fate and foes alike, as despair begins to weave its dark tapestry. The clash of bronze and the thunder of hooves echo across the plains, yet the Greeks feel a hollow in their midst. Their might diminished, their spirits shaken, every fallen comrade a bitter thread in the tapestry of loss that begins to tighten around them. Each dawn rises heavy with the weight of unspoken rage and shattered pride. Achilles watches from the shadows, the fire within him twisted by pain, his silence a wound as deep as any sword could rend, fueling a rage that threatens to consume all he once cherished. The gods, ever watchful, stir amidst their immortal thrones, their divine whispers weaving through the mortal world. Fate's wheel spins relentlessly, drawing men and gods alike into a dance where honor and wrath entwine, each step bringing closer the storm no heart can escape. On the blood-soaked fields, heroes rise and fall, their names etched into eternity with every cry and clash. Yet, beneath the valor, a fragile thread unravels, a warrior's rage that ignites a war far greater than any blade can fight. One born from pride and shattered glory. The Greek camp, once a fortress of hope, now trembles on the edge of collapse. Without Achilles' wrath to shield them, their enemies press harder, the tide of battle shifting with each desperate breath, as the fire of war threatens to consume all that remains. In the silence between storms, a warrior's choice echoes stronger than sword or shield. Pride, wounded and raw, stands against the call of duty. The fate of nations hangs precariously as rage ignites the very war it might yet undo, balancing destruction and redemption on a knife's edge. Thus begins the tale, where honor collides with wrath and destiny, sparks a fire that will blaze through ages. The silence of Achilles, born from insult, casts long shadows, heralding a war that will shape the legends of gods and men alike, etched forever in the annals of time. Amid the shadow of Achilles' wrath, the fate of Troy trembles. The city pulses with restless breaths, every heart searching for a beacon amid despair. From the ashes of doubt rises a figure clad in courage, whose steps echo with the weight of destiny. Hector, the shield of his people, ready to bear their hopes. The air hangs heavy with the clash of swords and the cries of warriors. Yet Hector stands tall, a pillar of strength amid the tempest. His gaze sweeps the horizon, knowing that without Achilles, the storm grows fiercer. In this hour, the torch of protection passes to his steady hands, the ward of Troy's soul. With a heart forged in duty's flame, Hector rallies the Trojans, his voice a steady drumbeat in the chaos. Each word carries the weight of ancient honor, reminding them of their sacred bonds. Through the dust and flame, he strides forward, a living testament to their courage, the living wall against the advancing storm. Echoes of war drums stir the earth beneath trembling feet, yet Hector does not waver. His every move speaks of a promise, a vow cast under the watchful eyes of gods and ancestors. The heroes of Troy align behind their champion, drawn to the radiant fire he kindles in their souls, defying the shadow threatening to consume them. As spears glint under the fierce sun, Hector's presence calms the raging tempest of fear within the city's heart. His sword sings a hymn of resilience, each strike painting the air with defiant hope. Against the tide of conquest, he is both shield and storm, the undying flame lighting the path through encroaching darkness. The walls of Troy tremble beneath the siege, yet inside, Hector's spirit fortifies every soul. He moves among them like a living oath, embodying the collective will to resist. In his gaze flickers the gleam of steadfast resolve, the promise to stand unyielding until the very breath of their city is in his hands. Under skies heavy with the scent of smoke and blood, Hector steps forward, a mortal shield against the endless war. His armor glistens with the light of gods, restless and fierce. Each heartbeat syncs with the city's own pulse, a rhythm of courage, sacrifice, and unwavering hope that refuses to bend in the face of despair. The murmur of ancient heroes whispers through the battlefield, weaving into Hector's resolve. With every clash, he channels the legacy of Troy, a legacy shaped by honor, love, and the unbreakable bond of kinship. To fight is to hold the line not just for the present, but for the generations yet to breathe its free air. Amidst the thunder of hooves and war cries, Hector hears the silent prayers of his people, fragile yet fierce. He carries their dreams within the steadiness of his stride, a beacon in the gathering dusk. The weight of a city's survival rests upon him, yet his heart bears it like a sacred flame that will not be extinguished. His shield rises and falls as a steadfast rhythm, the metronome of resilience in the face of despair. Hector's presence turns the tide from chaos to order, from fear to unwavering courage. With every breath and every strike, he weaves hope into the very fabric of Troy's battered spirit, a tapestry of endurance and sacred duty. In the fierce dance of war, Hector becomes the pulse of Troy's heart, unyielding and resolute. The echoes of clashing steel sing his legend into the twilight, binding his fate with that of his people. No storm can break the silence forged by his steadfast gaze. No darkness can quench the fire he carries within. As the sun dips low, casting long shadows over scarred fields, Hector stands tall, a symbol carved not just by war, but by unwavering love and sacrifice. The weight of Troy's hope settles softly upon his shoulders, a solemn mantle he accepts with grace, knowing the dawn holds the promise of new battles yet to come. The clash of steel fades into silence, but the weight of loss lingers like a relentless storm. Patroclus, Achilles' truest companion, lies fallen beneath Hector's merciless hand. The battlefield holds its breath, mourning the light extinguished too soon, as shadows deepen with an unspoken sorrow. In the heart of war's chaos, grief blooms like a wildfire, consuming Achilles' spirit. His friend's final breath echoes under the heavy sky, a haunting reminder of bonds forged in flame and blood. This loss twists fate's thread, altering paths forever in a world where gods and mortals collide. Achilles stands amid the desolation, his soul shattered, rage simmering beneath the surface. The warrior's heart, a tempest now unleashed, swells with fury so fierce it scorches the air. Every heartbeat pounds with vengeance, a silent vow rising like a dark tide against the invincible fury of Hector. Memories cascade like broken waves, shared whispers beneath olive trees, laughter flickering like candlelight in the dark. Those moments become unbearable echoes, stirring a sea of torment that pulls Achilles into a void where sorrow and wrath entwine. A brother lost, a world unraveling beneath heavy skies. The scent of spilled blood still clings to the stony earth, mingling with the bitter taste of despair. Achilles' grief shapes him as much as armor or spear. It is his new companion, fierce and unyielding, fueling a burning resolve to confront destiny's cruel hand and reclaim the honor stolen by death. Flames flicker in distant encampments, mirroring the fire within Achilles' eyes. The battlefield seems to weep with him as night shrouds Troy's walls. Silent words escape through clenched jaws, promises sworn in shadows. A war transformed by raw emotion, threatening to consume what remains of hope. The gods gaze down, their immortal faces inscrutable as mortal grief unfolds beneath them. Achilles' anguish transcends mortal limits, a tempest reaching the heavens. Each breath is a battle, each step a defiance, as the hero teeters on the edge of despair and fury, grappling with a fate too cruel to bear. Around flickering fires, warriors whisper of the fallen, their voices trembling with respect and fear. Patroclus' death ripples through the ranks, shifting the tide of battle and hearts alike. Achilles' path darkens, marked by loss, yet illuminated by an unquenchable flame that seeks to honor a cherished companion. Beneath the weeping skies, the chorus of mourning swells, a lament for youth and valor lost too soon. Achilles' grief forges a new purpose, burning away hesitation, becoming a beacon of wrath and sorrow intertwined. Each pulse thunders toward inevitable reckoning, where pain will drive the hero's fate onward. In the quiet moments, the emptiness gnaws deep within him. Silence is loud with what was and cannot be again. Yet from that hollow, a resolute flame ignites, a call to arms that no grief can stem, no sorrow can quench. Achilles rises, transformed, a storm gathering strength to awaken the fury of the gods. The earth itself trembles beneath the weight of what has been lost. Achilles' rage now roars, a tempest of divine wrath unleashed. The very skies seem to shudder as his wrath blazes a path of reckoning, last goodbyes swallowed by thunder, charging the hero toward a destiny steeped in blood and fire. As dawn breaks, the horizon bleeds with the promise of revenge. Achilles moves forward, a storm of grief and rage in his wake. The loss of Patroclus changes everything. It is the spark that ignites a war within and without, where honor and fury collide beneath the watchful eyes of fate. The air thickens with vengeance as Achilles strides back into the fray, the fire of loss burning fiercely within. Each step echoes a promise. The gods themselves hold their breath as destiny weaves its fatal thread through the clash of two warriors bound by honor and rage. Across the scarred battlefield, Hector stands resolute, the shadow of Troy looming behind him. His heart beats with courage, yet the cold whisper of fate draws nearer. The sun dips low, casting long shadows where the lines of mortal glory and doom intertwine in a silent, inevitable dance. With the thunder of clashing spears, the duel begins. Every strike a story, every parry a cry of wills, titanic and unyielding. Blood stains the dust beneath their feet as the earth bears witness to a fateful contest that will echo through eternity. The weight of their legacies pressing heavy on the air. Achilles' rage, a storm unleashed, drives him forward with relentless fury. His blade, sharp as grief itself, slices through fate's fragile veil. With every breath, he recalls the loss that fuels him, feeding the inferno blazing in his soul as the battle dances on, fierce and unforgiving. Hector meets the tempest with steady resolve, the hope of Troy bound to his arms. His spirit holds firm against the raging storm, a beacon of pride and honour. Yet beneath the warrior's armour lies a sorrow deeper than the dying light, a silent prayer for peace amid ruin. Their weapons sing a deadly song, clashing like thunder rolling over shattered plains. Sparks fly as hearts beat like war drums, unity and despair mingling in the charged atmosphere. The world holds its breath, caught between heroism and tragedy, as the final moments of this divine conflict unfold. Time slows, stretched taut as tension coils like a serpent ready to strike. Eyes lock with wordless defiance, the weight of nations pressing upon their shoulders. Their souls are laid bare, stripped of all but fierce pride, and the haunting shadow of inevitable fate looming just beyond. A brutal blow crashes through the air, fate's final decree. Hector staggers, a giant felled not by fear, but by the relentless tide of wrath incarnate. Silence swells as the dust settles, an echo of heartbreak and valour mingled, the fragile boundary between glory and ruin forever altered. Achilles stands over the fallen, chest heaving with thunderous breaths, the price of vengeance carved deep into his sinews. The horizon blurs, the ghosts of war swirling amid the fading light. In his victory, a mournful silence rises, a tribute not to conquest, but to the bitter cost of fate's decree. Around them, the world seems to hold its breath. Troy's walls tremble, and the gods watch in sombre silence. The dance of death has ended, but its shadow lingers, wrapping the land in a mournful shroud. The dual flames of honour and sorrow flicker, eternal and intertwined like the destiny of men. As night falls, the battlefield cools beneath a mournful sky heavy with unspoken words. The heroes, now legends, are carried on the breath of time, each heartbeat a reminder of the fragile line between glory and loss. Their stories linger like stars, burning bright through the twilight of ages. In the silence that follows, the earth cradles fallen dreams and fractured hopes. The echoes of their duel remain etched in the hearts of all who hear the tale, a testament to valour, vengeance, and the inexorable march of destiny weaving through the tapestry of human souls. Under the heavy cloak of night, a weary figure approaches the Greek camp, burdened with grief as deep as the vast sea. King Priam, humbled and desperate, moves through silence, seeking one last mercy. The body of his fallen son, Hector, the light of Troy dimmed by war's cruel hand. Priam's footsteps falter, but his heart presses him forward, knowing he must face the wrath of Achilles. This meeting, steeped in sorrow and the weight of countless losses, carries the fragile hope that even fierce enemies may find a common thread of humanity beneath the armour of battle. Before the mighty warrior, Priam kneels, his voice trembling with the raw ache of a father undone. "Grant me my son, noble Achilles. Let Hector return to dust and memory where he belongs." A silence thick with the burden of war surrounds them, as compassion begins to kindle in a hardened soul. Achilles, once a storm of wrath, feels the unexpected stir of sorrow as he gazes upon the king's grief-stricken face. The fury of battle melts away, replaced by the fragile ache of loss, a mirror held up to his own profound absence, his own pain woven silently into the tapestry of this moment. In this fragile pause, the great warrior's eyes soften, breaking through the storm of vengeance to touch the tender humanity beneath. Mercy, long dormant and buried beneath pride and pain, begins to breathe, a quiet song in the night's chill, a gift offered and received between two souls broken by war. With reverence, Achilles rises and grants Priam what he sought, a gesture beyond the clash of swords, a sacred return to honour the dead. Hector's body, precious and mourned, is handed back to Troy's embrace, a silent promise that even in devastation, dignity can find its place once more. As darkness holds the camp, the weight of sorrow shifts, becoming a bridge between enemies, proof that beneath the guise of war lies the fragile heart of humanity. Priam, carrying his son's body, steps away with tears mingling with the dust, grateful for this mercy at war's end. The night air feels heavier, thick with the unspoken understanding shared by two men who have lost much. Achilles watches, not as a victor, but as a fellow mourner, touched by the humility that war's relentless tide often denies, a fleeting peace in a world otherwise consumed by endless conflict. In this stolen moment of silence, the hatred that fueled battles gives way to the quiet respect born of shared pain. The story of Hector's return to Troy becomes a testament to grace amidst destruction, a fragile but enduring light against the long shadow cast by war's relentless hand. As Priam departs, carrying the weight of a kingdom's grief, a gentle dawn begins to stain the horizon. The promise of a new day, fragile and uncertain, glimmers faintly, an echo of compassion rising above despair, a reminder that even amidst ruin, mercy can bloom like wildflowers on forgotten fields. Achilles stands alone, the night wrapping him in quiet reflection. This mercy he extended ripples through his soul, unraveling threads of anger woven tight by loss. The fierce warrior's heart, scarred yet softened, glimpses a path beyond vengeance, where honor and sorrow may coexist in the tender balance of humanity's eternal struggle. In the stillness after grief, a fragile peace takes root between two worlds torn asunder. Hector's journey home is more than a return. It is a poignant refrain echoing through the ages, that even in the deepest shadow of conflict, the light of mercy can never fully be extinguished.